Kieran, this is the first big failure of the Albanese government regime, and it's a massive one, really. The vote at the moment is 58.6%. After you get WA and the postals in, it's going to be over 60% no. And that result, I particularly look at the results in New South Wales, which has a third of the House of Representatives seats, 58 no, and is viewed, certainly Sydney, as a progressive state, or more progressive than, say, WA or Queensland, these sorts of issues. And South Australia, with Malinowskis selling it to vote no, 63. I mean, I think Anthony Albanese's got a good taste of his political mortality tonight. I acknowledge what the other panellists are saying about you can't connect this with a federal election result. Of course you can't. Albanese is still up in the polls, and two-party preferred, he's up 53-47, so he's fine. It's status quo result. It's a slim majority, but perhaps this will give the PM a bit of an understanding that he's not walking on water at the moment, because federal election win, New South Wales election win, Aston by-election win, he really felt pretty infallible. And that's always dangerous for a Prime Minister and a government. And certainly, this is a swinging defeat from the Australian public to Anthony Albanese.
Peter Credlin, your thoughts on the Prime Minister's speech?
I want to pick up what Anthony said there. I think reconciliation will find its own level. It will come from practical outcomes. I think we've been so focused, I reckon, for 20 years on all these cultural symbolism pointers to reconciliation. You know, more and more acknowledgements of country and welcome to country and the co-equal flying and the flag, and not enough focus on the billions of dollars and how it's spent and what it's actually doing on the ground. I think that's where we've got to put our focus. I agree with Michelle. I think there was self-awareness there tonight. I think there's a humility that was missing in the campaign when there was such a moral tone to anyone who questioned the voice. I think whinging and moaning about misinformation, disinformation, if his campaign was better, if the product was better to sell, there might have been a different result tonight, and there wasn't. I would be very careful about pointing to Peter Dutton as turning this campaign. You were then saying to the Leader of the Opposition, you have such enormous electoral weight, you've turned 60-40 against the government and all the millions and millions that the Yes campaign had to spend. So if you want to say he's that powerful and that electorally successful, good luck to you, but I wouldn't be giving the opposition the blame, because that perversely gives him the benefit. This was a decision of Australian people. I think that they considered it deeply. You know, a lot of people know Aboriginal people in their own personal lives, not dissimilar to same-sex marriage. And it was only a few years ago we said on same-sex marriage, you've got to support it because it's about equal treatment under the law. And now you're flipping it saying, no, we actually want to create two classes of citizen. And I think that was just a dangerous move, and I don't think they thought that through. The Makarrata Commission must end. If they can't get a voice up, there must be no treaty process, no expenditure, no involvement of the bureaucracy in driving us to a treaty at a Commonwealth level. And I might also add, given there's going to be rallies, pro-Palestinian / pro-Hamas rallies tomorrow, if he wants to quote Churchill, he should quote Churchill, who said, I will not be impartial as to the fire brigade and the fire.